Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing the top 5 must-buy comic books of February. So number 5 for this month is Refrigerator Full of Heads, issue 4. And man, if you are a fan of slashers, this is just the ultimate sequel of a slasher. Where, normally, especially with comics, you're talking about how comics are adapted to TV shows or movies, and this feels like the reverse. Is like, how can a comic adapt the fun of a slasher movie? And that's exactly what Refrigerator Full of Heads is. And when in the regard of a sequel, it does a great job at creating a new Final Girl while also expanding on the old Final Girl, which I think all good slasher sequels do. So pick up Refrigerator Full of Heads issue 4, where honestly you also have some really, really great action here, gruesome, creative action as well. So it's everything that you would enjoy from a horror movie. Moving on to number 4, which is the Amazing Spider-Man issue 89, one of the best issues of this run thus far, where we get to see just a really well-balanced issue of learning more about Queen Goblin, a character that honestly I feel like has really become unique and become her own, even though she's a Goblin character. I was pleasantly surprised by that. And then also the thing that makes this issue is the return of Peter Parker becoming Spider-Man and his team up with the unlikely duo of Mary Jane and Black Cat, which I think has also been one of the biggest highlights of this run, with classic Mark Bagley artwork. So that's my number 4 pick. Moving on to number 3, which is Dark Knights of Steel issue 4. I'm not usually a big fan of exposition issues, but this is exactly how you do an exposition issue. Every single page didn't feel like I was being explained to. There was emotion behind the history. And with this issue, we get to see what happened between the Waynes and the House of L, and exactly how we got to the point of the present of Dark Knights of Steel. If you're not reading this book, I think it's the best Tom Taylor book out there next to Nightwing, and it's just been such a pleasant surprise. As someone who does not like medieval stories at all, I am fully sucked into this story. Moving on to number 2, which is Crossover issue 11. This one just had a lot of great twists and turns and really leaned into the meta aspect of the comic. That's always where I feel like the book's at its best. And with this one, we get to see Donny Catesby in his own story. And there's so many cool twists and turns with that one. And then by the end, we get a connection to a very, very big Image comic character that we should have all expected, and that is Negan from The Walking Dead. And you're like, whoa, they're on a baseball field, and I just didn't think about it. And it was just a great cliffhanger and a worthwhile chapter of crossover. Moving on to my number 1 must-buy comic of the month, and that is Radiant Black issue 12. This is a completely standalone issue where we get to see the origin story of Radiant Pink. And honestly, one thing I thought was so brilliant about this is that Kyle Higgins teamed up with an actual streamer, an actual social media influencer, where you can tell it was coming from a personal view. Because I think a lot of times when you see social media stories, they're kind of surface level, and this one you actually get into the nitty-gritty of what it's like personally to be an influencer and how that can affect you, all wrapped into this fun superhero origin story. So that is my number 1 pick for the month. Let me know in the comments below, what are some must-buy comic books that you read this week, or books that you're excited to read. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.